Dominant performance indeed. So Barcelona doing what they needed to do to keep pace with Real Madrid. A 3-0 win at their now makeshift home, the Estadio Johan Cruyff, over Getafe. At this moment, let's welcome in form of Barca man himself, Luis Garcia. But Ale Moreno, let me start with you on this one. This really was the Ferran show.
It was. And I suppose it's a question that Hansi Flick can answer, but was he supposed to start today? Or was he only starting because Marcus Rashford was late? Was Lewandowski going to start? And if indeed Lewandowski is going to start, then Marcus Rashford would have been on the left-hand side. What I would say is that given the performances of Ferran Torres, even before today, in my opinion, in my estimation, he has been one of Barcelona's best players and at least most consistent players. Ferran Torres gives you something different than Robert Lewandowski because his movement in the final third, his level of activity, he can come from underneath, he can make deep runs, he can go and support Lewandowski, or he can go and combine with Dani Olmo. That's how the first goal happens, in that he comes and shows for the ball short, the ball goes beyond him to Dani Olmo, but then he turns around and says, okay, I can be an option inside the 18-yard box, and he finds the final touch. He also has the speed to go get in behind, to go and run in behind defenders. And because he has the speed and he has the confidence and he's been scoring goals, guess what? In front of goal, he feels very comfortable. Of all the attacking players for Barcelona, outside of Lamine Yamal, and we cannot talk about Lamine Yamal today because he's injured, you look at Ferran Torres and he has been their most consistent performer. And so there is a question to be asked. When everybody's healthy, which it wasn't a question that you would ask before, when everybody's healthy, does Ferran play or does Lewandowski play? Because we know that Lamine is going to play, we know that Rafinha is going to play, and then there's a choice to be made by Hansi Flick. It's a great problem to have for Hansi Flick, that you have in Lewandowski a guy that is a proven goal scorer, but you know that he's not going to be able to play every game. And you have in Ferran Torres an answer for an issue that you may have had in the past. Now you have an answer of a guy who can score goals consistently. And given his productivity, right now, he is unbenchable. You have to start Ferran Torres and ride with him because he's hot.
Luis, as Ale is saying, Ferran Torres is looking pretty hot right now. And usually when we're talking about Barcelona's attacking players, all of the spotlight is on the trio that was Rafinha, Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal as well. But Ferran is making a case for him, as Ale said, to be unbenchable at this point.
Yeah, to the point that he's being involved into the games. And it doesn't matter if it's Lewandowski involved or not. They are trying to find a spot for Ferran Torres because he's hot, like Ali is mentioning. His ability to find the right spaces, those runs, the U-turns that he does, trying to go to the blind side of the defenders, getting the back of the defenders. And when he's in front of the goal, something that we always been accusing to Ferran Torres, that he was missing so many chances. Right now, is full confidence, and Ferran Torres needed a coach that allowed him to make mistakes, that allowed him to make bad runs, allowed him to do bad controls. But right now, he's a Ferran Torres that we haven't seen for quite a long time. He's controlled and his passing is accurate, his movements are fantastic, he's not getting into the offside, he's arriving to the right spot at the right time. So when he's in front of the box, he's clinical. So right now, Ferran Torres, of course, is the number 9 of Football Club Barcelona, no doubt.
So Luis, to Ale's point now, if you have a fully fit and healthy Barcelona squad, do you start Ferran over Lewandowski?
Right now, yeah, I have no doubt. I mean, if we are going to say that Lamine Yamal is fit, Rafinha is fit, Lewandowski is fit, Ferran Torres, I will go straight away with Rafinha, Lamine Yamal and Ferran Torres up front because he gives you that density is good and his finishing is fantastic. So right now, I have no doubt that I will choose straight away Ferran Torres.
Big call there, Stevie. You enjoyed what you saw from him today.
Well, it's hard to argue when somebody is not only connecting with his teammates, but sticking the ball in the back of the net. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And I think if you're Hansi Flick as well and you're looking to the future, because there's going to come a time when Lewandowski, number one, isn't going to be able to play all the time, and somebody is just going to overtake him. And the question is Ferran Torres getting to the point where he's actually putting himself ahead of Lewandowski? And right now, from what we've seen so far in these 6 games, considering the output, you'd have to say yes.
25 years old, Ale. One for the future, one right now.
One right now? Oh, Ferran Torres, I think, has been a divisive player in Barcelona in the past, because I think we could all appreciate the work rate, we could all appreciate the movement away from the ball, his runs, how he got himself in really good positions, but the things that he was missing was chances.
Yeah.
Goals, consistency. But in the second half of last year, we started to see a turn. And we started to see when Lewandowski was injured and he was given a run of games and he was scoring goals, it almost felt as if there is something about this player that is different. And what is different is the level of confidence. The way he took the second goal today, while it may have been simple, in years past, a lesser version of Ferran Torres is freaking out in front of David Soria and is not finishing the chance. To Stevie's point, today, in front of David Soria, once he got himself square with the goalkeeper, you felt like there was no doubt, where there was doubt before. And you are not able to pull off that sort of finish in the manner in which he did without confidence, in which he gives the goalkeepers the eyes. He opened up his body and I'm saying, I'm going to go over there to the far post. No, I'm not. I'm actually closing my hips and finding the near post. You don't pull that off unless you're feeling good with yourself. Because when you have pressure on yourself and you're not confident, that's what's happening in front of goal. That's what happening in front of goalkeepers. You don't quite know what to do, and you just get rid of the ball hoping that it goes in. There's a certainty about how he's playing the game now in front of goal.
How many years ago was it he went to Man City?
Ooh, I don't know. That's
5 years ago?
That's a while back.
That's a while back.
So it's probably been 5 years since he's had a proper run of game.
Yeah.
He's never actually been in a position, in a situation where he's been able to get some time in his legs, get his composure, get his confidence, all of those things that you have to get in order to produce what you're capable of. He's only now getting that time, and he's showing what he's capable of. So if you're Barcelona, you better take advantage of it.
Well, I know that it was a Ferran Torres show, Ale, but we also enjoyed what we saw from Dani Olmo, of course, providing the assist, but then getting a goal himself today. He definitely did himself a world of good.
And it's a player that has been saying, hey, what about me?
You?
Hey, how about this guy? How about, do I get a chance to play? And here's the thing. And all those players in the attacking half, what they need to think about is, you better be at your best or close to your best if you're going to get opportunities to play with this version of Barcelona. The reason Dani Olmo hasn't been playing all that consistently has been, one, he hasn't been all that great, but two, Fermín López has been great.
Yeah.
And he's been getting the opportunities and he's been getting the chances. And he has made the most of those opportunities by having really good performances. Last week, scoring goals. And so you think about what are the options for Hansi Flick, and we go back to a point that I just made. It's a great problem to have. If Fermín López is not feeling himself this week, Dani, you want to play? Yeah, I want to play. Hey, if Dani is not feeling himself, Ferran, you want to play? Yeah, I want to play. This is where we are with Barcelona. All these guys are elevating each other's performances in the attacking half. And if they do that with consistency, then you have options everywhere. That is a great problem to have.
Great problem to have indeed for Hansi Flick, Luis. And in terms of Dani Olmo, as Ale said, he did a world of good for himself today.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you have to do. You cannot think. You have to show your talent, give the team what is expected from you, good runs, good combination, good link up between midfielders and Lewandowski today. And if you have the chance, just put it in the back of the net, because as Alex mentioning, this is a squad full of talent. It is a squad full of quality, and there are a lot of players who are waiting for the opportunity to shine. Let's not forget, Gavi is not there, and he's a player who also started playing in that position, that role as a second striker, link up with the middle of the park. Of course, the rotation is going to be fantastic. Once again, we see Marc Asado, of course, with Frankie de Jong and Pedri in top form. They are going to be the ones to choose every single weekend. But at least you have that ability to change the situation of the game, change different players, because they are going to give you something extra. Dani Olmo give you that ability to score goals. Today, once again, the score, of course, is going to be in the mind of Hansi Flick. But the way the Fermín López is performing lately, it's going to be difficult to take his position right now.
Well, it was a perfect day for Barcelona, almost a perfect week for Barcelona, but it didn't start out that way when we got the news that Marcus Rashford, after his heroics against Newcastle in the Champions League, was dropped to the bench for showing up late at training. Stevie, I'm going to come to you for this one because we already saw Hansi Flick is a stickler for punctuality. He wasn't afraid to drop the captain, Rafinha, last time out. And now Marcus Rashford, who, let's just say, has a history of doing this even at Manchester United. You, as a former coach yourself, this just absolutely incenses you, doesn't it?
Well, it drives you insane. And this one is worse because of what happened last week with Rafinha. You know, if there was a lesson to be learned, it was last week. If you don't toe the line, then you're going to be dropped. So what does Rashford do? Turns up late. I mean, it's completely disrespectful to everybody else. On your day off, you can do what you want, be on time, don't be on time. It doesn't matter because that's your time. But when you have to turn up for a meeting or get on the bus or whatever it is as a team, then what you're doing is, it's not about you, you're respecting everybody else. That's what you're doing. You're respecting their time. So when you turn up late, that's what you've done. You've disrespected your teammates. And so, if you're not invested that much in your team that you turn up late, what happens on the field of play? You don't do it there either. So that's why, if you can look through history, all the best teams, all the teams that win, do every single thing together. And some people think it's a rah-rah thing, you know, we do everything together. It's true, because when it's tough on the field, all that stuff comes through. The guy that's standing next to you is the most important thing. You're not the most important thing, it's the guy next to you. And so, if you can be late for a simple thing like a meeting or training or a boss, then all it does, it reflects on what you think of the guy standing next to you.
Well, last week when we saw it with Rafinha, he responded by scoring a pair of goals himself. That was the reaction that you'd want and expect from the club captain. Marcus Rashford didn't sulk on the bench today. He did get an assist. He did look quite lively in the second half. Is that the reaction you'd want?
I don't want to take too much away because at the end of the day, he did do some good things. Yeah. But you know what? When you have the ability that Rashford has and the pace and everything else, you love coming on when the game's done. It's 2-0 at half-time, the game's over, and so, yeah, I'll cool me jets.
What I would say about Marcus Rashford specifically, and I'm not even going to reference back to the Rafinha situation because it's incredible to think that you see your team captain being benched because he was late and then you go and do the same thing the next week. That's just crazy talk. I'm going to talk about Marcus Rashford specifically in the sense that he finally had that breakthrough moment for Barcelona against Newcastle in Champions League. He had that moment. So handle success. It's an inability to handle success. Handle the success that you had on the field by doing something very basic. Show up on time.
Be first.
Yes. Hey, in fact, be excited to be at training because you know what? You want everybody to tell you, hey, great goals. You were awesome. Yay, all right, Marcus. Hey, Marcus. Yes, be first. Handle the success by showing up on time. I cannot believe we're still having conversations about this. This is so very basic. And so, build on the momentum that you generated midweek against Newcastle by showing up on time, being part of the starting squad, and continue to build this momentum forward. Push yourself forward and your career at Barcelona. You're only trying to help yourself. I'm rooting for you, Marcus, to help yourself. But I can't help you if you show up late. If you're late, you're off. Simple as that.